Doesn't seem like a month. Seems like yesterday we were just doing this. Phew. Okay, well, um, remember as we do our ohms to really feel it, feel the vibration of Om moving through your body, not only through your body, but through your mind, through your body, through your spirit. Let us join together in love with 3 ohms. Om. 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 And so we begin by reflecting on what was the word that we have been meditating on, putting into our conversations, considering, thinking about love. Love. Yes. Love. And love, this in August, we didn't have a saboteur. And I really couldn't think of a saboteur of love because nothing can really take love down. It can look like love is getting beat up, or it can look like you know, it's in a cave somewhere locked up. But no, nothing can actually destroy love. Mm-mm. Love isn't going to be born, so it doesn't die either. Love is life. Life is love. The universe is love. Love is the universe. It's not something that is little. It's not something that we just give to somebody. We feel it for somebody. But love is already present in every single human. Every human that doesn't look like they're wanting to love has love. Every human who looks like they're very loved, they don't have any more love than the being who appears to not have love. Love is available for every single human being, but we all must go through tragedies and travails and stumbling along until we understand that love was there all along. Because we think we have to go get it. We have to look for it. We're waiting to see it reflected in somebody's eyes that's looking at us. Our heart is waiting for those perfect words to tell us that we've been seen, that we've been heard, that we are loved. But love was already there. It was already there. And why is it that we don't feel it until we see it reflected to us by somebody else? What is that? I mean, we can see ourselves in the mirror. Apparently, we don't see love looking back. But we can see love looking back at us by somebody else. It's kind of interesting, because the love that you have for somebody else, you feel it, but they're waiting. They're waiting to see it. They're waiting for you to look at them in a particular way, or to say just the right word, or just that little tiny touch of their hand on you makes you go, yeah, okay, I'm loved. So the thing that we want the most, the thing that we think about, speak about, chase after, argue about, we have had all along. So the biggest thing in the universe, love, is also the smallest thing. The most visible is also the most invisible. Love is perplexing and it's truthful. and it soothes us and it awakens us. And when it awakens us, we say, my heart was broken. And you've probably heard it when people say, it's not just broken, it's broken open. And that's true. That's how we begin to feel it when we're in that place where we question if it was there at all. But we have so much pain that what are we having pain over? We're having pain over love. And yet, love is not an emotion. We are emotional about love. It's true. We're very emotional about it. We crave it, we miss it, we adore it. We can't wait to show some people how much we love them, and others we can't wait to show them how we're withholding it from them. Love is in our minds all the time. We always, everything is about love. Everything is. Should we help those people? Should we help those people over there? The ones that are being hurt. They look a little hungry too. Should we feed them? Why is it that sometimes when we see something so disastrous as starvation, some people feel it and want to heal it, while others, they must turn their head because they see it. But something inside of them is afraid that if they give love that is seen as disrespectful by other people, it could harm them. But love will never, ever harm us. If you have a situation where you know you want to help someone, but you're afraid you could be punished for it by somebody ignoring you or saying bad things to you, nobody ever has to see you pray. And that's always an available way to activate love. So you see these people over here and they're really hurt, but you can't help them because you're not allowed to help them. You've never been allowed to help them, not those people anyway. So your mind and your body, they say no, don't do that, don't do that. Okay, but nobody knows who you're speaking to in your heart. And you can pray for them. And if you don't think that's valid, I think it's just because you haven't tried it. Because if you do, you'll feel it. It'll stir inside of you. And you'll know that you're sending them the best part of you, even though you can't talk about it. You can't show anybody that you're feeling love for them, that you're invoking love for them. You see, love never dies because it was never born. Love is every single thing, every single person, every animal, every blade of grass, everything is love. It is universal. I suppose some people would be like, how could you even say that? We don't even know about other galaxies. Well, I think it's interesting that love is so big that it's all through all of us. That's pretty big. Why would it stop? There doesn't seem to be boundaries for love. Because, the more that we live a life of love, the more that we focus on developing our own spirituality, our own inner life, we can feel it growing inside of us. Something changed. Hello? We can see it growing inside of us. We can feel it growing inside of us. and you feel better. You know, like you could go through a period where you feel like somebody that you really love doesn't love you. And then you go through all kinds of trying to understand why don't they love you? Why don't they want to love you the way that you want to love them? You could go to therapy and you can pray and you can have be introspective, or you can just decide that they're bad. You could do all of these different things, but you see, it's all about love, and love never disappears. Or you wouldn't go through all this trouble to try to understand, why am I not feeling it? Why do they not feel it? Because you know it's there. You know it's there. It's troublesome to understand, why are we not feeling it? Because we know it's there. Love never goes away. It never diminishes. No matter how much horror there is on our planet collectively, love never goes away. It never packs its bags and goes to another galaxy. Mm-mm. It never gives up on us. No matter how bad or sassy humans get, it never gives up on us. No matter how destructive that we can become to the environment, to the beautiful forests, to our water sources, to anything like that, love never goes away. We can pretend there's not enough love to live to help people that look different than us or who live in other places. We can pretend there's just not enough love to go around, but that's just a damn lie. You no need to hoard love. There's enough for every single person, more than we ever really actually need, because there's enough for each and every one of us who don't think that we have enough, to not only have enough, but to give it all away. And then it fills us back up again because it's eternal. So I think that is very hard to understand, that love is eternal, that you can't destroy it. It will never diminish, no matter how many people are mean to one another, dramatically mean. No matter how much we actually, in our deepest, darkest place, actually feel like some people don't deserve it. It just means that we haven't learned how to feel it, how to feel it. It's always there. I don't know. Sometimes we see people and you can tell they're very loved. You know, you might see maybe a young person, maybe a teenager or something, and you look at their face and you know that they come from a family that adores them. You can see it in them. They have this light that they emanate. You know, they're taken care of. Some people might say, yeah, naivete. Hmm, they're teenagers. You can see love in people when they've been treated with love. And when you see a person who seems to be walking hollowed eyed, like there's something inside of them that is space, like it's not filled up, love is still there. It's still there. It's just got put in the lost and found bin. So it's waiting to be collected. It's waiting to be seen. It's waiting to be reused, to be recycled. Mhm. Love never goes away. It's not born and it doesn't die. So it's interesting that we still have wars, like there's not enough love to go around. Here we are, 2025, and we've been human beings in societies for thousands upon thousands of years. And here we are, still deciding that some people don't deserve love. Hmm. So, because we act like that doesn't mean it's the truth. just means that love is so divine. It's so perfect that we actually, sometimes some of us actually feel like it's about deserving. Some people deserve love and other people don't deserve love. And yet, when somebody gets wounded in a war, how do you determine which person is deserving of healing and which person isn't? There's nothing there to choose from. It's not about deserving. The availability of love is always there. There's never a shortage. Even in the darkest of times, there is not an actual shortage of love. There is just blindness inside of us because we believe in deserving. And that just, I don't know. I don't know how we could go down that rabbit hole because it has nothing to do with deserving. The minute that I think that if a human being begins to think that another human being doesn't deserve love, you need some introspection there. You're going down a dark path because the love is still in that person. It's true. I mean, I don't want to talk about people who are really, really bad. They're doing bad things to numbers of people that are on a very large scale. I don't want to talk about all of that. I just want to say to you, they still have the seed of love inside of them. It's because it's everywhere. It didn't skip that person. It didn't skip people who do heinous things. It's still there. It's just that that's the mystery of love. We don't, we feel like we have to believe in it. People are, it's deserving, believing. No, love doesn't need us to believe. It doesn't need any of our thoughts, doesn't need any of our opinions. It doesn't need us. Mm-mm. Love has a life of its own, and we are born of that. Our job is to wake up to it. So when there are people who act like they've never been introduced to love, well, they got a long road there. Love shows itself when you're really hurt. It does. Of course, there are people who've been really hurt and then they die in that lifetime without consciously feeling love. It's true. But love was still there. And that's the thing in our time when we sit still with ourselves to ponder on these things. Really? Love is still there? When a person is dying and they're sure that they weren't loved and they have the evidence to prove it, there's nobody around them, they've been left with nothing. I'm sure it's still there. Yeah, the mystery of love, right? It is. Why is it that we can't feel it? I have no idea. I have no idea. It's the one thing that I probably ponder on every day about love, 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 love. Sometimes, like if I feel heavy in my heart, you can feel it physically. You can feel it in that place in your chest where it's just like it's heavy. It feels like it's empty and heavy all at the same time. it's it's kind of a weird thing. And when you focus on it, oh yeah, you can feel it still there. But why is it so painful? It's not love that's so painful. It's the healing process. The love moving in and moving the darkness out. So love is spreading. It's filling up those empty spaces. or the shadows move in. So it has its own interesting feeling, and it heals us. It heals our minds so that we're not so self centered. And interestingly enough, the more self centered that we become, the less happy we become. Because we start to believe that you have to protect the love that you have. Don't just give it to anyone. It's a big mistake. Love is giant, fills every molecule of air. It's so big. It goes all the way to the ocean, goes to the moon, just like we say, I love you to the moon and back. I love you to Saturn and back. Yeah, that's how big it is. It fills every space. The next time you feel, are you sure? Are you sure there's love? Let yourself breathe it in. Not just air, but love infused air. Love infused. So if you're a memory, maybe there's a memory that flashes across your mind. And this is a memory of feeling unloved by someone. It's important that you have this love for your own self, for your own beingness. And you breathe love in. And you breathe love out. And you do it again. And then you begin to see that love is it's a sharing, it's a pairing. And it helps us to remember, oh, that's right. Love is not just about romance. There's so many different ways that we feel love. But when we start to tell ourselves there isn't enough love, you must be careful because if you start telling yourself there isn't enough love, your eyes will begin to believe you. And when you look out of them at other people, you'll think to yourself, there's not enough love for them. And that's okay because there's not enough love. I'll keep this to myself. But not for yourself, because if you were keeping it for yourself, you'd spread it through you, all the way through you, out into the universe. Because you know that when you become aware of love, the love that's always there, it changes you. When you are not aware of the love that's always there, it changes you. The lack of awareness that love is always there changes how we view ourselves, the people around us, our place in the world, other people's places in the world. It changes us. When you become aware of love inside of you, you really feel it moving through you. You realize, oh, oh, that's why I'm here. To experience actually feeling it. Because love heals our minds. When our minds get broken because of what people say to us or what they don't say to us, when our minds become broken because we see what people are doing to other people or to the animals or to the trees or whatever it is, and it hurts our minds, we see this destruction and we think, oh my God. Isn't it interesting that we say God? Oh my God. Yeah, which is just another word for love. You could say, oh my love. Oh my love. We're just trained to say, oh my God. It doesn't really matter what word you use. Amor. Thank you. Is love. Fetching me some water when I need it the most and didn't ask for it. That's love. And isn't it interesting how love can be found in the smallest of things? It means so much. It means so much. You can catch a little child's eye and the way they look at you, and you can just see that in them, and they're all playful and sparkle. Their little eyes become smiling eyes, They just they're just little love bugs. And it just touches you, and there's something about it that's just beautiful. And then we get older. And the older that we get, there are a lot of people that we begin to forget. Oh, it's an old person. Sometimes people who are really old become invisible. I'm not quite sure why that happens, but it does. Maybe people who aren't old, I've been not old. I'm old, but I was not old. And I think that it's kind of like you see someone that's old and you think, oh dear, there's my future. And so instead of sending love to that part of our own future when we see it in somebody else's future, we turn our heads. We don't want to see that. Oh, yeah, no, we don't want to see that. No, which is not good, right? But, when we get older, we kind of look like we did when we were babies. Some of our teeth are missing. Our hair isn't as glorious as it once was. Our skin is a little different. We're a little helpless. We can't walk on our own. We might need help being fed. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, sort of like we go full circle, yet we see the end and we're terrified or something because we love the beginning, but we don't like what that end looks like. No, so we don't look at it. No. And so a lot of people leave here without anybody seeing them. They leave here being forgotten. And their life, they lived their life. They were 10, 20, 30, 40. They were all of these ages. And they lived every day. And they loved and they lost and they loved again. And now they're old. You see, it's important for us to remember this because we kind of think that love is like that. Like you're born into a place where oh, look, it's a new life. Oh, wow, all this opportunity. And it's so exciting to see a baby. And then people start to grow and we begin to separate from one another. You can put all these babies together in one room and everybody's like, wow, look at all those babies. What a sight. But you put a bunch of, 80-year-olds together. And people aren't doing that. They're not like, oh my gosh, look how cute this whole room of 80-year-olds. And yet, the 80-year-olds have all the stories, the good, the bad, the indifferent. Yeah. But now they're to be forgotten. So I'm saying this to you so that you remember that love doesn't age. It doesn't get stale. If you leave it out on the counter the next morning, it won't be bad. No. You don't have to freeze it. No. You don't have to eat it all in one bite. You don't have to eat the whole pizza of love, even though you want to. In fact, you could even like fast and still feel love. Love is always available. It's always accessible. It's always affordable. It's always there, but it's not always chosen. It's never a wallflower. It's the thing that everybody's looking for. And, love must be like, hello, I'm here. Hello? Oh, maybe somebody else will see me who walks by. Love is always here, but we don't choose love because there is a choice about love. Love is always there, so there's always a choice. You can accept it or not. You can give it or not. You can feel it or not. But we have to wake up to the fact that we choose what we want to do with it, but it's always there. We don't bring love into our lives. We are born from love. And I'm not talking about the physical way we came into this world. I'm talking about deeper things. Love is a mystery. In fact, it's so mysterious that it's in all dimensions. Yes, there are other worlds. It's hard for us humans to believe that there's other life forms. I don't know why. I don't know why. But there are other life forms. And you have to have dimensions for these other life forms, you see, because they have different necessities. And they too live in love. Because love, again, I'm going to say this again, love is not an emotion. We feel it through our emotions, but it is not. So it lives in all places, all dimensions, dimensions that our minds can't even comprehend. Love is there. Love is everywhere. It's always available. And the times that we really feel it are when we're healing. You could be healing from an accident. Your body's getting stronger, and you realize I got a long way to go. Got a long way to go before I could walk steadily, before I get my balance back. I got a long way to go before I'm not so afraid. I got a long way to go because I can't forgive that person who was responsible for this. I have a long way to go. And healing, the smallest amount of healing, is love. So when we say I have a long way to go, as we're going along, we're picking up little morsels of love, and they all add up. But we have to want it. But we make this mistake that it's an emotion. So then we start to not value it. We just think that it has to look the way that we want it. It has to feel the way that we want it. But love is what does the healing. Love is what makes us want to share with somebody else. And that's what we want for ourselves. People who are leaders of countries, they don't talk about love. When's the last time you heard a speech on love? Always save that for religions. Why? Is it inappropriate to talk about love? Must be. World leaders don't say the word love. Very rarely. They do, but very rarely. We don't talk about love. We talk about the reasons why these people shouldn't be fed and these people should be fed. We don't talk about love. When it comes to the trees and to the fishes and to the deer in the forest, we don't talk about love there either. Especially people who are in charge. No. No talk about love. Why do you think that love is something that we have to only talk about in private? I don't know why. Perhaps again because we make the mistake of thinking that love is an emotion. So, we know not to show our anger too much in public, even though we don't feeling it inside. So if you think that love is an emotion, you're going to probably think, well, I don't want to show how much I love. No, no. I could be taken advantage of if they know how much love I have. don't know. I really don't know. We do the word of the month, and if you don't remember the word of the month, it's not important because you always have love. And that's you focus on love every day. That's your word of the day, it's your word of the month, it's your word of the year, it's your word of your lifetime. You always have love, the word love, to do a mantra with. The goddess is love. I am love. The gods are love. I am love. The people in my country are love. I am love. The people in the countries that I don't think I'm supposed to love are love. I am love. There are people who look different than us. We're not really supposed to help them or talk to them. So remember, they too are love. And say it to yourself so that you remember love is everything. That's why I always say love is the answer to every question that you will ever ask. Love is always the answer. It's that big. No saboteur. It has no saboteur. We could never get rid of love, no matter how bad we become, no matter how many people destroy other people or the environment. You cannot destroy love. It will grow back. You cannot get rid of it. Nope. Not just in this dimension, but in all dimensions. The properties of love are always the same no matter where it is. It's indestructible. It's indestructible, and you can use it however you want to use it. The big question is, do you want to use it? Do you want to heal? Do you want to be strong and kind? Do you want to be strong and kind? Because that means you want love. Do you want to give that strength and that kindness to other people? That is love. Do we make mistakes and hurt one another? Absolutely. And what comes after that is also love. When we realize it and we ask that that particular incident that was our fault makes us stronger and kinder than before. So as we focus on love when we are in the wrong, we become stronger. We become kinder for it. If other people can't forgive us, that is their path to find that. It doesn't mean that you are unforgiven and you can't heal. No. You always have you to make that choice to accept love, that you are love, that you live in love, and that love will always heal you and make you strong and make you kind. Never think of kindness as weakness. Why should I help those people? Oh my God, come on, get a job. Mm, mm, no good, no bueno. So maybe a little introspection and ask yourself, why is it that I think that those people don't deserve love? Anyway, when you hear yourself saying those people, that's your first clue. Something you need some introspection. Those people, why do those people not deserve love? But it's a thing that to be introspective about. Don't feel ashamed. It's much better to have self-inquiry. What in the world am I thinking? I wonder why we're not supposed to love those people. Did anybody tell us why we're not supposed to love those people? Because it looks to me like they're starving for love. And wouldn't they be better for it if we sent them love? They can always reject it. They can always say no to it, just like now. Why is it that we feel like withholding love somehow makes us better people, stronger people? It does not. No. And the one word that I suppose we could use that most people would say is the actual saboteur of love is hate. No. Hate does not have the power of love. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Hate. Hate is like it's a it's jealousy. When you see in another person, you see light in another person. And you don't feel it in yourself, but you see it in somebody else. Maybe it's just for a moment. They're shining for something. Maybe they won something and you were in competition with them, but you didn't get it and you thought for sure that it was supposed to be yours. That's jealousy. So what does jealousy do? It makes us steal because we want the light that we see in the other person. We want it for ourselves because we don't know that love doesn't know any boundaries. It's in every single human, but sometimes we see it in another person, and because we don't see it in ourselves, then we feel like that person doesn't deserve it and we're going to steal it from them. So we gossip about them. We try to take them down. We try to diminish them. We fire them from the company, whatever it may be. So we don't have to look at their light anymore. Get these people out of here. Love didn't die there. No, it was just tied up in the closet. Let it free. Let it be free. Ah, and what about fear? What about fear? When I think about fear, um, I think about like uh, when I was really, really little, very young. Oh my God, I was terrified of the dark. Absolutely terrified of the dark. Some of you know that, you know, sometimes I see things in the other world. It's easier to see them in the dark. Sometimes I see them in the light. It causes fear. Some are really pleasant, some are unpleasant, but they're no different than people, you see. There are people who I can see that are really good and people I can see that don't know that they have goodness in them yet. So, fear is one of those things that for myself, truly, from as long as my mind can even remember, the first thing that I did was ask for help in the unseen world. Something always told me that there was always a force, a divine presence, and not a person, not an animal, not anything that was known to me. But there was a force that was always there. It has always been natural for me to go to the source in that way. But sometimes, when we're really afraid, we forget to go to that source. So we have to practice. We have to practice. Because if we live too long in fear without practicing that love is everywhere, and we live a lot in fear, after a while, it can make us want to harm. Fear can make people want to harm. Like when we talk about animals and we say, oh, be careful now, dogs can smell fear. Now, why do we say that? Okay, so they smell fear. Wouldn't they like back away? You think that, oh, does that mean they're going to back away because they're afraid? No, that means they're going to like open those jaws and, show you what they got, right? Why did they do that? What does that mean, smelling fear? Why does it make them do that? Because they know if a human is fearful, they might reach out and hurt them. The human might reach out and hurt the dog. When we have fear about a dog, we're going to reach out and hurt that dog, or that cat, or that bird, or that human child. Fear can make us want to hurt. Isn't it ironic? Because we were so afraid of being hurt, we become that. Hurt first. Yeah, fear will not make us strong. Mm-mm. We have enough weapons on this planet. I mean, for all of us to be gone within a day. So that's how scary we are collectively. And what is it that we're afraid of? Other humans. And of course, we're other humans to other humans. So all of us other humans are all frightened of one another, and it makes us hate. Fear can morph into hate. Yeah. And annihilation. We have to annihilate. We have to annihilate the source of fear. Like it'll never come back. As long as your heart, the space where your heart is bereft of feeling love, there can be fear, there can be hate, and there can be jealousy. So the seeds are all there. They just need to be watered and fed. And they become plants that can thrive by hurting others. Every time you hurt somebody else, of course you hurt yourself. How can that not be true? But somehow or another, we kind of think that power, just raw power, somehow makes us special. But it's love. There's no such thing as there's a special anything. We're all shiners. We're all made up of the same thing. We're all evolving in the same way. It's just that each of us are unique. And we need this uniqueness. When we start thinking that we all have to look the same, we all have to be the same, we all have to have the same beliefs, the same everything, same, we are in serious trouble. It goes against nature, and we are natural. We must be unique. Live up to your uniqueness. Do not be like everybody else, or even some people, or even one person. It'll make you forget yourself. It'll make you envious of the other person or persons. And you don't need that. Your uniqueness is valuable. It's like if you go to the theater to see a play, you want each actor to be unique, each role to be unique. You don't wish that this queen would be just like the other queen. You want the evil queen and the good queen and the upcoming queen. You want everyone to have their uniqueness on that stage. And so that's exactly what we need. The ability to love who we are as an individual because we are part of the collective. And the collective is made up of individuals. And never be afraid to be who you are. I'm kind of a crazy, unique person, I suppose. And it's been scary sometimes, because people see me so odd and they say things sometimes that I think, wow, I'd never had the nerve to say that to someone. But I just look at it as that's one of my lessons in this lifetime is to accept my own uniqueness. but I'm not unique in that. We all have to accept our uniqueness. I just used myself as an example. That's all. We're all unique. And we all suffer from that feeling of, no, I think I need to look like everybody else. Remember when you were like, again, 14 or 15, a whole group of kids that are friends, they all want to dress the same. They all want to look exactly alike. They're so afraid that they're going to be abandoned or not chosen that they're like, okay, what are we all wearing? What are we all doing together? And we have this fear of being unique. But that is our job, is to be unique, to be who we are, to truly be who we are. And love is that force that binds us all together in that uniqueness. You know, uniqueness is just like, you open your pantry and you've got those spices in there. They're all unique one to the other. Cinnamon does not wish it was nutmeg. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, or pumpkin spice. you know, it's very interesting that we wish that we were something else. Oh, if only I was like that. If only I was someone else. If only this, if only that. Not even beginning to go, oh, wait a minute. This unique thing, is that real? Because what I'm liking in that person over there is about their uniqueness. So that's why I want it so much. But what you want is you want the feeling. By wearing the same clothes or whatever it is, you can't be like them. You can only look like them, so to speak. But it's important that you shine as you because that is your design. That is your job, is to be who you are. This universe needs you to be you. My pantry needs nutmeg to actually be nutmeg. And next to it, cinnamon, please stop wanting to be nutmeg. I need my cinnamon to be cinnamon. Has to be. They could mix together and do their thing because that uniqueness together is even more unique. It's more brilliant. It's wonderful. So love helps us to be strong and kind, strong enough and kind enough to ourselves as well as to others to be who we are, to be uniquely loving in our own special way, to share who we are, to not be so afraid, not to be so envious that we have to like sit inside and be grumpuses. You know? No grumpuses allowed. Love. Love makes us laugh. It makes us cry. It makes us heal. It makes us share. It makes us well fed. It makes us sleep well. It makes us creative. It makes the world have ideas personified that are deep in the human heart that haven't come about yet. It makes things exciting to live over the next 200 years and to be able to see things that are going to come about. Love makes it so much more exciting, so much more unique, so much more adventurous than living in fear and hate and darkness. If each heart refuses love, the world will continue on, but not in the way that any of us would want it to be. So remember, love has no saboteur. Nothing can ever destroy love. I don't even know that it's correct to say love was born, because it certainly doesn't die. So it doesn't, but it changes its forms. Love moves through us and out into the world. The more love we have in our heart, the more poetry we have, the more paintings we have. Doesn't that sound old-fashioned? I could have said the more AI we have. That's an invention. But your uniqueness, never be afraid of your uniqueness where you have to have a tool to be like everybody else. It won't work in the long run. Eventually, our uniqueness must shine. It is our destiny to be who we are. It's good to get help from others. It's good to learn from others. But it's just like taking the spices and putting them to the bowl together. They're still individuals. Nutmeg is still nutmeg, cinnamon is still cinnamon, but they're working together to make the most delicious bread ever. When you work together, cities will start to look different. When we work together, pollution will be a thing of the past because we would realize we wouldn't let anybody, not ourselves, not our neighbors, not anybody, live in a dirty, polluted atmosphere. This is love. It creates creative solutions that everybody gets to live where there's clean air, where there's clean water, where things run in a way where now we can actually develop very deep, beautiful art and creativity, engineering. We get to have lives that right now are just in the dream world. But when we practice love as individuals in our own style, then the world becomes incredibly unique and it blossoms with possibilities that right now we're not even really healthy enough to let ourselves imagine. So I hope over this next month, the word that we have for next month, that you are able to feel your uniqueness. So the word to meditate on for the month of September is the word grace. What the hell is grace? Well, find out. Meditate on it. Ponder on it. Look it up. Write about it. Use it in conversation. Ponder on the nature of grace. And so the saboteur for this month for grace is the word passive. Passivity. Passive. Grace is the virtue. Passive is the saboteur. Something to consider, something to ponder on. And make sure that you really treat yourself to deep breaths. Really treat yourself every day to conscious, deep breathing. To keep yourself really unafraid. Because when we're afraid, we can't live in our bodies when we're doing this. It's sort of like our minds kind of die out when we're afraid. Right? Everybody has fear. It's terrible, terrible how much fear we live in right now. So let's counterbalance that by breathing deeply throughout this whole next month. And as you breathe deeply, send that energy of love out into the world so that those that live in cities and states and countries where fear is dominant, even more than here, they too feel the love sent to them by brothers and sisters that they've never met or seen or even know that we exist. So send that love to people who don't know that you exist and they will never know that you sent them love. Try that on. So let's do 3 ohms together. Om. Om. the beings and all the worlds be happy. Thank you so much for being here. Peace be with you. Namaste.